welcome to the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy Holistic Transformation Channel. This is your host, Dr. Beverly. Today, I would like to talk to you about how we got where we are. I am old enough that I have seen all of this unfolding for a long, long time. And we're now entering the Aquarian age. We just left, Capricorn, but we've been in the Aquarian age, the age of Pisces for a couple thousand years. And now we're going into the Aquarian age. When that happens, some people say it happened 100 years ago. Some people say 50, 60 years ago. Some people say it won't happen for another 100 years. Who knows when? But we have been on a journey. And at least for the last 100 years, a little over 100 years, let's say 170 years, from about 1850 forward, particularly in the United States, we went from a culture that was a mix of people. I know a lot of people don't realize how mixed we were. A lot of people came from Europe, but we also had people coming from China, from the Philippines, from Japan, Mexico. We are people who were already here from Mexico. We have people from Canada. So we've always been an eclectic country. There was lots of land, and the government was actually giving away land. If you could get there in time, you could claim the land and put a deed on it. And they had events that would say, this part of the country, you can put a stake in the ground and get so many acres. So we went from family-oriented small towns. And over time, and people were educated, a son followed his father's footsteps, the land got divided up, and the sons did more. And a lot of last names, if you go back far enough, were based on what they did, like Thatcher, thatched roofs, and so on. Tinker was a person that made pots and pans. So you hear these different names. Today they've been modified slightly, but you can tell what people used to do by their last name. Well, what started happening is over time, the cities got bigger as companies grew. So we started having companies, businesses, not small businesses like a small little country store or what have you, country doctor. We started having hospitals and grocery stores and grocery store chains and hospital change, and then we had insurance companies. And then in the early 1900s, there's an organization I won't name, but if you know anything, you know who I'm talking about, who decided to kill all natural healing companies and schools. So they went after all the schools, that like naturopathic schools and what have you, and shut them down. And then we had insurance companies and modern medicine, and you had to have an MD in order to practice medicine. When I lived in California, if you graduated as a DO, you had to register as an MD. At some point, they got permission to be a DO, but most doctors in California were just called MD. That didn't happen in other states. Arizona has DOs here and a DO school. So all of this started changing over the last 150 years. More and more people were moving to the city to get their corporate jobs because they wanted success, and success was about materialism. You go to school, you go to college, you are programmed and brainwashed to memorize and do what you're told and sit at your desk. And then you went to corporate America and you sat at your desk and you did what you're told. And they would pay you lots of money, they would pay for your health care, and that was called success. Well, number one, that killed spirituality. It killed God, source, whatever you want to call it, which is why there's so many atheists. I even became an atheist. I'm not anymore, but I was for the first 40 years of my life. So, um, so that's all going to change. It's all going to change. It's already changing right now. Next year, it's going to change big time. So I hope you're ready for it, because source is in charge, whatever you want to call source. Okay. Great spirit, he, she, mother, father, whatever name you want to use. It doesn't matter. When I studied the Kabbalah for the first time, the rabbi said, it's better to dig one deep hole than many shallow holes. And I've dug many deep holes. And no matter what path I took, and I've taken a lot of paths, you end up in the same place. Okay. I call it the subterranean river of truth. It's subterranean because we don't see it. Our paradigms block it, especially if we're materialistic. We're like this. We blocked anything on that side. It's woo-woo, it's metaphysics, it's whatever you want to call it. But when you take the leap, all of a sudden, wow. Now I've had 5 near-death experiences because, like I said, I was an atheist, and God said, I'm going to wake you up one way or another. And it was through meditation that I woke up. So I encourage you now to start your meditation practice if you haven't already. Be ready for these physical body changes. A lot of people have been complaining about headaches and this and that. Those are blockages. Okay. So if you're having negative symptoms, those are blockages. Like I said, acupuncture will heal them. Doing meditation will heal them. There's many ways, sometimes massage, cupping. There's many ways to clear blockages and armoring. We armor our bodies. A lot of people hold stress in their shoulders or in their neck or some part of their body. We store our traumas in our body. Those all create blockages. So all of this is going to change. Start working on yourself so that you're ready for the change. And that's my message for you today. If you need help, you know how to get hold of me. If you need help with meditation, omforsuccess.com. It's free. It's a 37-day program. It's completely free. It'll take you through all the steps and different kinds of meditation. You'll learn all kinds of stuff that you may already know or may not know, but it will broaden your understanding of who you are and how you can develop yourself and move forward. And each of us is an important soul. We each have a role to play, and your soul, whatever your journey is very important right now. And your progress is very important, not just to you, but for all of humanity. These are the outer planets that are changing. They're moving and changing. And as they change, it affects us. And Saturn is now in a square with Jupiter. First it was I think it was Jupiter was expansive and Saturn was depressive, and now it's the other way around. Jupiter is being suppressed and Saturn is expanding. So this is the last hurrah of the old guard that has controlled us for 2,000 years. They're going down. Okay, so be ready. And the best way to be ready is to be in love. And we'll talk more about that next week. So thank you for joining us. And if you would be kind enough to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who might benefit with the message, I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you. And remember to be the light you want to see in the world.